Michael, you weren't happy after Saturday at Colchester. Insipid was the word that stood out, but you also said you wouldn't know if you got a reaction until this Saturday. But have you seen any good signs this week in training?
Yeah, the lads have been good in training this week. Done a lot of work on what things we need. On the defensive side of the game, getting pressure on the ball, filling spaces quicker. Like you said, you can only tell the true reaction of whether they've learned from the result and the week's training on Saturday. So that will be the key. But we've managed to turn the week so far into a positive week of some real good work.
And has it been an angry group? Have you been able to use that as well?
No, anger is not a good emotion in football, because you make rash decisions. So it's controlling your disappointment and flipping it into right. We've got to work harder. We've not been good enough at certain things at the minute, so that's what you need to do. So turn it into a positive energy rather than an anger and a frustration. Yes, they're angry and frustrated, but that's the same as coming in a dressing room after the game. Yes, you let them know you're disappointed, but if you go in every week when you lose a game and just throw teacups and things like that around, it loses its impact. So it's the important part of it is use it as a learning tool. Because if you don't learn from that, then we are in trouble. The players know that wasn't good enough, but it's why it wasn't good enough. It's all right saying that it wasn't good enough and then right, we'll just crack on and do a normal week. They know it wasn't good enough. Show us why it wasn't good enough, and then work on why it wasn't good enough and how we can improve that. That's the key.
And that improvement that you're looking for, are they relatively straightforward things to put into practice?
It's not always that simple. It's easy, as you find when they go on Sky TV and they say, right, we'll move that counter to there and that he should be there and he should be there. It's getting the players to understand that. So it's not simple, but it's up to me and the players to improve on last week's performance.
We've had news this week of Alex Adai has torn his hamstring, could be out for 2 months or more. Is that presumably the news that you were fearing?
Well, I don't get too involved until you get it's not my job. That's why I rarely comment on, because it's not my remit. They have a scan and they get sent to a radiologist who tells you in a lot of detail what the injury is. So it's a discipline. You don't want to lose any player. Alex has worked hard to get where he is. He's been a slow burner, but probably in the last 2 months he's been excellent. So he's a blow, but part of his learning is how to deal with the injuries. He can now watch the games and learn from a different side.
And everyone else okay?
Tyrone's felt his hamstring a little bit since the weekend, so he's not been training. Johnny Mullins has obviously he's been ill early part of this week, but he played a reserve team game a couple of weeks ago and had a reaction to that, so he's not trained since then. Will Boyle trained the other day for the first time on the grass with the lads. That means he's getting closer. Long he's training every day now, so we just need minutes into him. So it's the same as always. You get a couple in, a couple out.
And I mean, how far away are Sean Long and also Will Boyle? Because obviously, you've got to put them back in, at the right time, haven't you, and sort of not overload them.
Well, Long is slightly different. Long's been out for 6 months, so Long he needs. You wouldn't play 30 minutes in a reserve team game and then throw somebody in after 6 months out. It's not fair on him. He probably feels like he is ready, but you wouldn't do it in a pre-season. You wouldn't play half an hour and then go and play a first team game. Boyle's a little bit different. Obviously, he's been fit and he's missed 6 weeks. I think he's missed about now. So it's. But he's looked quite bright in training this week.
I haven't mentioned Grimsby yet. They seem to have turned things around. They've won the last 3, having lost their previous 4. It's another example of the mad division.
They're a funny team. I think they've won 5, lost 4, won 3. So if you're going to do it, it's probably the best way to do it. Is keep winning one and losing one. But they do seem to be a streaky team. I think they lost 6 or 7 earlier in the season. So they've got some good players. It's a long way to go. There'll be a disappointment of the way they conceded against us. I'm sure they'll take that into the game. Obviously, we won a penalty in the 92nd minute, I think it was. But looking at their games, and recently they went down to Yeovil and demolished Yeovil. Really, they were really, really comfortable. So they've got some good players. People will know about Wes Thomas, but Embleton, who just plays behind the front two, is a very, very good player.
Wes Thomas, 32 now, but still the best season of his career was here at Cheltenham. Is he sort of, that main threat, obviously, as their top scorer?
I think he's their focal point. He's the one that runs in behind. He'll hold it up, and they'll get people to play off him. So, but as with, like you say, it's a funny league. They've got players who can hurt you all over the pitch. So it's about how we deal with their threat and how we impose ourselves on them.